We'll get it looking better as time goes on. I'm hoping that maybe one day I can have like a full, like the full in cafe setup here. You know what I mean? Like maybe the counter in front and then a screen on the right side where like one screen is chat and then the other screen is like Pokemon and the rotating stuff. That could be cool. But I'm kind of hitting on 2 points here because the next Siege season is kind of doesn't have a whole lot going on at this point, right? They reworked the recruit operator, so now it's like they're their own operator and they're kind of just on their own. And you can only have one of them per team. So like why? I don't know, it just seems really weird to me. They're just there at that point. Yeah, I don't see them anymore as a super good beginner tool or anything. Like here's the thing. If they rework recruit and it's available in every single mode, it has to be something that's good, free for everybody, no matter what level you are, and they have to be pretty much always available. But guess what? If there can only be one per team, right? So if there can only be one sentry and one striker, which are the name of the new recruits, then like what good does that do a new player, right? Like a monitor or something where you can show screenshots or clips of videos that you're talking about. Oh, that would be so good. I'd love like a little tablet. Oh, you like the I know Sniper clowns on Applebee's, but like get one of those Applebee's tablets where it's like sitting on the table next to me or in front of me or something. The two recruits are listed as having unique abilities and a playstyle, but they're literally the same character. And the only thing unique about them is that they have access to all secondary gadgets, and that's like, yeah, I don't know. The reworks are just kind of there. It's not like how they're not threatening, but like how they're promising to rework Dokkaebi and Solus and stuff. They really are just kind of there. I don't know. I can't feel too strongly about them. I think Recruit did need a rework for sure, but this is kind of one of those things where I'm just like, meh. Starting to think that they don't want any more throw picks. I don't really know. I don't know what direction they're going anymore. I was thinking about this earlier, actually. So you know how like Fortnite has had a running story pretty much its entire lifetime? Like it's had Save the World, which was a narrative, and then it had a narrative in the Battle Royale for like the longest time. I would say nearly as long as it's been alive. I think Siege just finally realized that it can't compete. You know what I mean? I think Siege just realized it can't compete anymore. And it's just, it's tried becoming a narrative, but it's gone through a couple of different writers by now and a couple of different writing teams. And so like, almost, like you can tell when the operator launches are different, at least a little bit, and then you can tell when the story is different because like Deimos was a long-running antagonist, but the way they handled him was not very cohesive or consistent, and it was very weird. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. Too many live services, a lot more options. Yeah, and I think Ubisoft realized that for Siege to live, they need to like adapt to some of the better live services, but I think they chose the wrong one, in my opinion, because I don't think Siege needed a narrative. And I think they messed it up when they started trying to focus too much on like, I don't know, I'm fine with their stuff about like inclusion and like having a bunch of these new first-time ops, but I think they focused too hard on making these stories fit together and make sense, and then they've kind of like, the reduction in content isn't the problem, it's the type of content that's getting brought in with the reduction, right? So like this entire next season, it's literally 2 reworked operators. It's actually 1 reworked operator split into 2, and then it's 2 reworked maps, but the map is the same thing, right? So like, what are you gaining? What are you gaining from having less content here? This isn't even like, could have done mini stories instead of one big one, maybe. I could see that. Like, I like the anime I think that they're doing, or the anime style that they're doing is good and it's interesting. But they just I don't know. I don't know. They kind of just messed it up a little bit. I don't think that's like the falling off point though, you know? Like, I think if they did mini stories, then they could do what COD did maybe, or like what Battlefield did. I think if they did what Battlefield did for the narrative here, like, it would not have been as bad. Like, you have the anime cutscene for the season, which is fine. And then you have mini stories done through like extras that you unlock in the battle pass. It looks like Valorant to me now with the anime stuff, which is kind of the problem. I think a lot of people, I don't think saying Siege is just becoming Fortnite is correct. I think it's dumb, but I do agree that it's kind of becoming Valorant, where like Valorant embraced its style super early on, and it's also Riot, right? So like they've had League of Legends as practice, and they just know what they're doing. They just make like a crap ton of like skins, and they know what they're doing. I feel like it's a copy paste type at the moment. Yeah, no, I agree. I think if you ask anyone what makes Siege unique, it's pretty much nothing, right? Like, you can say the tactical gameplay, which, like, whether or not you describe it as such doesn't really matter anymore. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of true, but you can get tactical gameplay from better feeling games like Valorant or other FPS games where, like, it's not going to be as slow, right? And yet even then, Siege is super fast paced right now. So what, like, you can't say, oh, because it slows everything down, because it doesn't. Counter-Strike slows everything down, and that's still kind of fast. I'd rather play Rainbow Six than Val. But then there's that too, right? Like, Valorant has like a super intrusive anti-cheat, which, like, yes, don't even get me started on that conversation. I like the new scene, by the way. Thank you. Me and Reiko worked very hard on making this look right. It was I really wanted to do this because I think the coffee talk section of Tuesdays is needs some ambience to it, you know? The story's changed a lot since 2020. Yes. Also that, like, it's the getting shot slows you thing I hate. Yeah, that's in a lot of games too. Like, there is no shortage of games that have that, and it is so bad. I genuinely don't know how. I think people just accept it because it's what was done before, right? So, like, if someone came along and made a Rainbow Six clone, which has happened, by the way, there are at least two that I can think of. There's a VR game, and then there's a voxel game called Due Process, which takes more Counter-Strike than Siege, but has a lot of similarities between Siege. In 0 Hour, yeah, 0 Hour even. Like, when people are copying stuff, they kind of just take the things that they see as like the defining feature of that. I think like if you were to tell me, if you were to try and have me as a workshop pick out the most defining features of Rainbow Six Siege right now that don't overlap with other games, I think it would be a really hard thing to do. Like, I think the asymmetrical gameplay is really good. Because you don't see a whole lot of, like, oh, defenders fully set up first type of games. Although now you have more of them, right? But that still overlaps with stuff like, you know, Counter-Strike technically allows you to do that. Valorant technically allows you to do that. Oh, well, what about, you know, the ability to do, like, full, like, one-shot headshots and stuff like that? Well, that's not a unique mechanic. And it's actually become like a horrible thing that people don't want. I don't want to say a horrible thing. It's actually become like a thing where people are like, is this even good for the game anymore? Like, does this make sense? Right? Rainbow Six just needs a Battle Royale. People said the same thing about Halo Infinite, and, you know. I don't think Siege has an identity anymore. It doesn't have like a physical, stylistic identity. Did try, to be fair, it was just smaller. Yeah, I'd put it on the same level as like Battlefield 5's maybe. Although, to be fair, I was someone who actually liked Battlefield. Oh, sorry, not 5. 1. Battlefield 1. I actually liked Firestorm. Firestorm was kind of fun. I was back when I was really into Battle Royales, though. And I think that goes for the same thing with like underwhelming content. Like Siege, because it doesn't have an identity, when a new when a new season drops, like, it has to really sell you. I think, right? Siege content creators have long been forced to try and do other content, and like many of them have been like, well, I can't do different games because my viewership drops, but if I play Siege, then I become like, I hate it, or like it's not fun, and it's the same thing I've played for the last like 6 years. And yeah, that's kind of fair, but we don't know when Siege is gonna die at this point. I think like Siege had a really interesting start, I think. And I think it always starts every year with a lot of promises from the developers. And then it always starts with a lot of promise because the first season is like where they talk about fixing a lot of bugs, and then they have a lot of things that they can get out of the way. And then you get to like season 2, 3, and 4. And by the 4th season, you're like, well, this has now been another year of Siege. It probably wasn't a horrible year, but it was just another year. I feel like as a whole, the gaming industry is really lacking in innovation anymore. Devs can't do new things because publishers want profit. Yeah, I think that's not wrong. I think it's also something with Siege in particular, with long running games, you have the issue of just like your game is just sitting here. How do you innovate it without it being like, you know, ruined or like destroyed? Like CS2 is technically a pretty good sequel for Counter-Strike or Counter-Strike Global Offensive, right? But there are also a lot of pros who have a lot of issues with the game because some things aren't fixed or new issues were introduced and there's a lot of issues. So like Siege can't just make a Siege 2. But also, I mean, Valve has like a crap ton of money to just waste and do whatever they want with, you know what I mean? Whereas Ubisoft is like probably about to hit their Square Enix from 1990s moment where they're like, I think, wait, when did the first Final Fantasy come out? Oh, in 1987. Holy crap. Okay. I was close-ish. But like in, you know, like Square Enix, 1987, Final Fantasy, the whole, this is their like last chance to do something kind of thing. I think Ubisoft is hitting that at some point. I say that, but you also have like, I mean, you have companies like Bungie who have like a crap ton of money coming in from Destiny 2. And what happens with that? It just keeps going, and then like developers get laid off, people get laid off in the company, and then they say, oh, well, we're doing all of this for because we need to keep money, like we need to like make money instead of lose money. And then they sell a shit ton of copies on the final shape where it's all pre-orders and it's all these people wanting to play this game again. And you're like, and it's the cycle every single year, right? Like it's just going to keep happening. At some point, I think you kind of got to let it go die to either make a new game or a sequel. I think if they made a newer game, yes, Siege being put on life support would suck. I 100% agree with that. But like X-Defiant just came out. Give me a new tactical FPS that like, you know, has cooler things going for it or something. Kind of like Destiny 2 been going on way too long and it wasn't built for it. They should have did Destiny 3 instead of vaulting content. I kind of agree with that. Or they should have reworked it a little bit. The bubble beginning to burst? It has to be, right? Like that's the only way I can describe it. Oh god. Games industry has apparently had more layoffs in the first quarter of this year than in the entire year of 2023. Yeah, no, it's sickening, honestly. There's a Pdove in chat. Look at the little guy. Look at him. I mean, it just sucks right now, right? I think I had a topic a week or two ago that was like, the oversaturation of FPS games. And it was going to talk about how, like, you can't really get a new FPS game anymore. Like, you can't get a brand new, interesting multiplayer FPS, right? I don't think so. At least PvP-based. PvE-based, you could. I think you have games like The First Descendant, which came out a bit ago. Excuse me. And it's, like, it's kind of interesting. It's not super unique. It's not breaking the mold or anything. But it is like an interesting combination. When you talk about PvP games, you're kind of like, well, how do you do so much? Like the finals was probably the latest example of being a really good, innovative PvP shooter. And I have heard almost nothing about the finals, except for the fact that at some point a season 2 was launching, and I'm pretty sure that season 2 has been going for like 4+ months. I don't know what's happened with that game. I've not heard like a peep about a new season or like fixes or anything with the company. I don't know. It's crazy. You can only have so much. They added a FAMAS a while ago to probably to the light class, right? Let me actually go to the finals on Steam instead of like just assuming nothing's happening. Oh, medium. Momentum has died out a little for sure. Not sure if they relieved the cheating problem. Probably not. Oh, it's the burst one. Actually, I don't know. Burst FAMAS isn't that bad. I just hate the M16 being burst. They just released... So on May 29th, they released update 2.1, or 2.10, sorry. Apparently, it's nearing the end of Season 2. When did Season 2 launch? Am I, like, misunderstanding? When Season 2 launched? No. Okay, wait. Maybe I have. So Season 2 launched in March. Like, on March 11th of this year. And it's now June? Yeah. Okay, so that's about 3 to 4 months. So it's like the normal cycle, but like, why am I hearing almost nothing about it? It seems like it's still a popular game though, yeah? Like, I mean, it peaks at 13, like over 13,500 people for every 24 hours. And there's at least 10,000 people playing regularly, so I can't call that a bad thing. I think that's pretty good. I don't know. That's still a very popular game in my opinion. That's still a good handful. Yeah, that game, if that game keeps at least 10,000 people in its pocket for however long, you're good to go, man. You're living for a while. Whereas, I don't know, how many people are playing Siege? Oh, okay, never mind. Siege is no longer a fair comparison. Siege has like 52,000 people playing. What the heck? See, that's what happens when you start believing people saying Siege is dying. And a new season's about to launch. Like, there was 105,000 average players in March. I think March is when the new season launched. Yeah, with Deimos. And then it dropped all the way down to 52,000. I mean, that's really not that bad. It halved. Most people who play Siege at this point play in like the first month or so and then they just leave. So like, really not that big of a deal, I feel like. It's end of the season and the new one's starting soon. Yeah, it's gonna go back up to like 70 to 80k, if not more. The player numbers I'm interested in though is for X-Defiant. Speaking of player numbers, I'm kind of sad Helldivers 2 hasn't fully recovered. I think it's still down like 50k-ish players on PC. Oh, because of the Sony thing? I think some people just straight up refunded it, if I'm being honest with you. They deleted it from their library and their, like, everything else. Ubisoft is too, like, stingy about that, I feel like. Sony and the balance team is kind of done, which Sony's still doing things, so... Yeah, I mean... You can only do so much, I feel like. Arrowhead can only win so much. They have a fantastic game on their hands, and sometimes it's not their fault when they squander it. Caught up talking to one of my old friends at Pride. Otherwise, it was pretty boring. I got some good stickers. Yeah. We love to see good stickers. Yeah, I don't know. X-Defiant is interesting. Post-launch, it's kind of just, it's just kind of there for me. I agree that it's kind of refreshing, but I think, I'm trying to think how to say this. I think that is either telling that other games that were just like X-Defiant didn't do as well, or it's telling that X-Defiant did something right, even if I'm not liking like 20% of the game, right? Like, multiple games have done what X-Defiant has done, and yet here they are Here's X-Defiant, like, picking up the slack. Probably because it's been hyped up way more than other games have. Like, I'm pretty sure you can find a bunch of free games that do exactly that. In fact, there was one, not too long ago that I played before it launched. Maybe hop on for a couple of games, but it might be a good idea for me to go to bed instead. It is pretty late. I don't want to make you regret not sleeping by tomorrow. X-Defiant has only been out for like a couple of weeks. The hype could easily die down if there's not much content. Yeah, so that's the kind of... So the worrying thing for me is actually less if X-Defiant will deliver on the content, although that is a concern. The concerning thing for me is that it's not even... It launched, and then within the next 3 months, it's instantly going into the typical live service cycle, right? It's not taking a break. It's not, like, fully fixing and balancing everything. It's not doing what it needs to do. It said, we're launching, we're doing some updates, maybe, and then we're doing the seasonal patch where we bring in more content. So I'm hoping that that isn't going to be a problem for them in the long term, where they're like, oh, every 3 months we now need to bring in a whole new faction. Because, like, think about it. Just like Siege, they're going to run out of factions to run in. And they're going to have to either start making ones up, which wouldn't... I'm not against that. Or they're going to have to start doing collaborations, which, like, you know... collaborations with other games for factions could lead to some weird stuff. And... I'm trying not to be negative about it. I think it could be good, and I'm hoping it is good, because a new game that is fun for a lot of people and is interesting means a lot. Not only to, like, me, even if I don't like it, but also to, like, everybody who wants to play it. You know what I mean? It's kind of just... It's weird. It's very weird. I definitely just don't want it to be a... I just don't want it to be a problem child. Siege is Ubisoft's problem child, and they refuse to fix it. Or the ones fixing it refuse to do something about some of the things. And it's just, yeah, I don't know. I think I could see X-Defiant going pretty far, though. It's not a COD killer. Maybe it's a COD competitor. But, like... I don't know. Just give it... Okay, I'm calling it right now. Put it in stone. Wait 1 to 2 years, maybe 3, and COD is going to just be doing a free multiplayer. Like, they're just going to release a COD mobile, but for PC. And then instead of, you know, charging $70 for it, they're just going to hike up the prices and then make you pay for zombies and the campaign, which it's still going to be $70 at least, I'm sure. Ubisoft higher-ups just like that live service model too much. Yeah, they do. There was something, I think Ubisoft announced a while ago that they changed their logo to reflect their interest in live service games and their focus on them, which was really dumb. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I think we need some more time to fully figure out X-Defiant, but I'm seeing... Excuse me. I'm seeing pretty much the same complaints as I see in COD, you know? It's something about, like, balance, it's something about the movement, it's something about, like, the guns, like, disregarding the balance, just like the guns in general, the lack of content. That's the thing that I don't like, is... X-Defiant launched with a very small amount of content gun-wise, and, like, that alone isn't enough to, like, push me away from the game or anything. But at this point, I'm just kind of like, really, man? I get, like, no weapon options. And my interest in them goes as far as, oh, I want to level them up to get attachments. If that. Because I sure as hell don't want to go and get the skins, because I don't want to do any of the mastery challenges, which are just, you know, like level it up to level 100 or something. But that's just going to take forever. And then they chose the worst thing to do, which was to add double XP tokens. Like, what? Why? Why would you do that? It's crazy. I don't know. There's a sun current in chat. It just feels like it's why I say good content can still be underwhelming, because it's like, I think it has a lot going for it. I think XDefiant might have a lot going for it, and Siege's new season might have a lot going for it, but just because it has a lot going for it doesn't mean it's like delivering a lot. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of counterintuitive. Might be the wrong word there, actually. I don't know, even as someone like me who has very little expectations now for newer seasons of games that I've played for a long time, I'm kind of like still disappointed. I actually have been like against people constantly complaining about the lack of content in Siege. Like, yes, they changed away from the 2 operator and a map system, and I don't like whether or not their reasoning is solid or makes sense or whatever. I disagree that it means that it's going to be less fun, or it's like not worth playing anymore, or that it's like not exciting anymore. I think you can have some excitement about less content coming at the same time, because what people don't seem to remember is that full send, I feel like 2 operators per season led to more broken operators per season. You know what I mean? Like, I should say more consistently broken operators would appear per season. Ella didn't come out with Sophia, but she did come out broken. Lion came out broken. I hate that I only have two examples. Malusi came out broken, but that was after the 2. No, that's not true. Right? Wait. No, that's not true. Because Malusi came out... Am I crazy? When did Malusi come out? Wait, why am I... Okay. I need to get better at tab management, I swear. Rainbow Six Siege Operators Release. No, don't do that. Okay, here. She released in like what, year 5? Yeah. Yeah. They didn't stop. Wait, this is crazy. I didn't even think about this. They didn't stop doing the 2 operator release until like year 6. Right? So Malusi came out in year 5. I don't know. I don't think Oryx was overpowered or anything. Oh, I guess that's not true. Zero came out in year 5, and he was the only one, and then Tachanka got reworked. So how far back did they start doing this? No, it was just year 5. Okay, yeah. So year 5 they started it, and then year 6 they like actually started it. But we've gotten a map rework like multiple years. Right? Year 5 was all map reworks, and one operator rework. Year 6 was all map reworks, and season 1 was like a new gadget plus match replay. Year 7 had multiple new maps, and last year we had a new map, a rework, and multiple new game modes being added. And 1 TDM map? Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't know. I think a lot of these seasons are like genuinely impressive for what they're bringing, even if they have one less operator coming out with them. Like, I don't think a lack of an operator makes more problems, and I don't think adding another one solves any either. You're getting similarly large content no matter what. And yet even then, all things considered, in terms of like seasons, Year 2 Season 2 is just going to be so underwhelming. You get an operator balance update, the marketplace is launching, Ubisoft membership, which is not a feature, by the way. That is not a feature, I'm not going to count it. And you get a recruit remaster. That's it. But like, Deadly Omen revamped a shield mechanic, added player protections, a new operator, the attachment and ADS upgrades. That's still more than Season 2, even though it's not that much. Year 8 had, you know, Fenrir, enhanced shooting range, permanent arcade playlist, a new operator, the consulate rework, movement stuff. Like, what? Immersive reload in Year 8? I don't know. I mean, that's a little weird. Ubisoft subscription is actually a downgrade to the quality of the game. Yeah, just being in the game by itself is actively, like, making the game worth less. They should just make it free at this point. If they made Siege free by the end of the year, it wouldn't surprise me, because then they could make an excuse for the Ubisoft membership. And even then, I'm just going to say it is not worth it. It is not worth it at all. You get nothing more than you would get from just playing the game. Like, let me look at this and explain it to you, right? Let me see, where's it? So the membership gets access to, for $10 a month, you get access to a voucher, which can be redeemed to unlock any operator, which doesn't matter if you're someone like me who owns every operator, and instead it's going to give you R6 credits. But they deliberately don't tell you how much R6 credits you get. You get access to the premium battle pass, which the premium is the 20 tier skip one as far as I know. And they're removing the ability to buy the premium one unless you buy the membership. That's as far as I understand. You get one exclusive legendary item, which you have to collect one item a month for an entire season to complete a legendary set, right? Which doesn't work as well if someone has to stop subscribing to your fucking membership midway through. I have enough to get the new ops this year via Renown. Yeah. I have enough R6 credits to just buy the battle pass without spending any real money. Like, I'm not... And like, here's my other complaint. If they're making the new recruits cost Renown, why? They better be the same price as the frickin', oh god, what are they called? The base game operators, which is only 1,000 Renown. Because, like, a rework does not suddenly make them new and interesting. I'm sorry. It doesn't. And it would be unprecedented, by the way, just as a heads up. It'd be unprecedented. Because other characters have gotten reworks and they've never gone up in price, right? You get an exclusive cosmetic bundle per month you're subscribed, which they better be damn good cosmetic bundles. Or I better be able to sell them on the marketplace, because if they suck, you know for sure I'm not keeping them in my inventory. Or I'm unsubscribing at the very least. You get one Bravo pack per month for $10. You get one pack that guarantees you a new item. For real? Why not two, man? You get two freaking things. You get two Bravo packs. If only they were smart about this. Genuinely. If they were smarter about this, I'd be like, okay, maybe two Bravo packs. It'd be nice. But like, again, most of this stuff isn't great for someone like me who's already played the game for a long time. And you get 10 battle tokens per month. So basically what you can do is you can play the game, so you can subscribe to the premium to the membership. You get the premium battle pass, which is a 20 tier skip. So you can already buy 20 stuff, like 20 spaces on the battle pass, right? And you also get 10 battle tokens per month, which means you just get, like, you can just skip most of the battle pass. You could skip straight to the legendary weapon, like before the end of the season, no matter what. And then what? Like, what is your incentive? Other than the fact that I guess you bought your way to the end of the battle pass or something. And some people already do that. They just pay straight money and R6 credits to buy their way to the end of the battle pass. It happens in every live service game. It just happens all the time. Like, I don't know. I don't know what else to say about that. Like, what? Like, it's bad. It's not good. It's not worth your money. That is not fair. It is bullshit. Exactly. Like, I don't even care that I have to work harder to get my battle pass completed. What I care about is that people are going to be sucked into this because they're like, oh, well, I could finally unlock X and Y operator. And it's like, no, stop. Like, the only reason I'd ever say you should get a voucher to unlock an operator is if you're a brand new player, had the game either dirt cheap or gifted to you, and you just really want to get the new content and the old content relatively quickly, right? But the voucher only works, you only get one a season, right? So like so for this month, if you enrolled in the membership between the 11th and the 18th, you get an early adopter bonus, which is an Ash Epic bundle and 600 R6 credits. You can get a 12-month plan or a monthly. There is no in between. You get a yearly or a monthly. You get premium content the whole year, basically, right? Or for however long you're subscribing. When you sub, the moment you sub to this membership, you get Battle Pass. Oh my gosh. Ugh. You get a Battle Pass, you get 10 levels, and you get a Bravo pack instantly. Then you get a new cosmetic drop on the 28th of each month, where you get one legendary and one epic bundle. So they basically just confirmed that the exclusive cosmetics are only epic quality, but you only get one legendary item in an entire set for the season, right? And then when your sub renews, you get another 10 battle pass levels and a Bravo pack. Like, why? Why? They do say that the exclusive time-limited legendary items in the seasonal thing are sometimes animated. But that doesn't make this more... Like, this doesn't make it worth it or anything, in my opinion. Oh, there's a sigil if in chat? I think that's how you say it. They claim that it's over 4,500 R6 credits worth of stuff. And that's every month. So, like, for an exact amount, you know, $45 worth of stuff per month for $10 is pretty good, right? Now, think about it in terms of what you get for the battle pass and what you get per season. The only thing locked behind a battle pass is an operator that you can unlock with free money from playing the game after what, 2 weeks after it's launched? After that, there is nothing essentially locked behind the battle pass that actually affects gameplay, right? So this $45 a month thing is pretty much saying it's pretty much $35 worth. $35 worth of cosmetics per month for an entire season, which is 3 months, give or take, right? Depending on if it's like a longer season or not. So basically they're saying it's worth buying because $35 of this stuff is cosmetic and you get exclusive crap and also will like give you a little incentive by subbing early as the first month that this membership becomes a thing. But it's like, really, man? Like, If it costs $10 for the battle pass, and the only thing I want in that battle pass is the operator, you're not selling me. Like, I'm gonna have to see some real stuff. I'm gonna have to see some real items by the end of this season, this upcoming season, that make me go, man, I wish I subscribed to Ubisoft membership. Because otherwise, whatever cosmetics they're trying to sell me on, I'm not buying. Literally. Oh no, I forgot to remove that one. I wish I did as well, JK. But yeah, I don't know. That's that's its own thing. I'm just confused. Like, I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. It's not worth my money. Siege itself is barely worth my money in the first place, but like, you know, if I still enjoy it, there's that. Congratulations for catching the Pokemon. All right. I think that's enough. I think that's enough ranting. It's enough rambling. I'm down to play some Siege for a little bit.